Familiar headline, book review, Famous Men, by Julie Buntin, is a snappy opening for this episode. Today we're diving into Julie Buntin's latest novel, which takes a hard look at ambition and consent. Snapshot: simply put, a young dreamer and a veteran writer become entangled in a years-long relationship that is at once intense and unsettling. In the book, Nathaniel Fellow is 62 and a Pulitzer-winning author of poetry, novels, and a memoir that even turned into a movie. He's a very public figure, a veteran of the literary world, and he writes the kind of work that gathers awards and lecture circuits. Wilhelmina Miles, often called Will, is a community college transfer who is 23, has recently hopped on a 34-hour bus from Greening, Michigan, to New York City. She's not a student in his MFA program but an off-the-books, personal assistant, hired to audit his writing workshop in a way that violates university policy but keeps her foot firmly in the literary hall. Buntin paints their power imbalance carefully. Nathaniel isn't a mentor to Will in the traditional sense. He is literally a giant of a genre. He has a massive reputation that taps into the culture and everyone defers to his good listen, and you'll get paid, no problem. The novel allows us to see how Will's lack of self-worth grew over the years. She grew up watching her mother cook at Rosendale Academy, a prep school in their small hometown. The apprentice scavenges each book, each paper he keeps for his own advantage and hustles herself for a future career. Buntin refuses to drop the backstory, because that history, sadly, is the foundation of how a young woman can forgive a relationship that is inelegantly asymmetrical. The relationship erodes or perhaps reinforces her ambition. Will is the only one who initiates contact. That langing above the headlines come from seeing her perspective. Buntin hardly phones, writing much and being literally an assistant who has to pay his papers as a debt-laden motive and story about the mother spirit that inspires the young writer. The story is so layered that one can read it from one angle and swallow a narrative of health or empowerment, tilt it, and the power dynamic is starkly layered. Buntin not accounts things, because she hates context. The great American writer clubs out on the details. That is exactly what makes the narrative keep you. The writing is very beautiful, but the books do a lot more than slapping the headline. It is based on the papers that have to be valued to remain. Buntin purposely lays out how she is basically in an off-the-books arrangement. In the end, Buntin basically parries many people whose treatments envy. We rarely should treat the narrative with desire. So what is the core question? Is the author's famed legacy safe in the margin of Will's ambition, or is it a tale of two growing as mature adults, their mind lay in judgment? Buntin doesn't just put the data in a title, she weaves a heavy, visible narrative about power, ambition, intimacy, and what someone will that is intended to give us reflection we only feel afterwards. All that goes back from the original interview. This novel is about a 62-year-old writer, a 23-year-old young woman, their parent and old town, how power can kill someone's imagination. A short according to the story. That's the break-off for today's special read about famous men. I hope you found this review pushed aside some confusion and ready more about both. Until the next episode, thanks for listening, and stay cynical for your next book.